All right, so this video is going to show you how you can systematically pre-qualify leads that you're going to be using for outreach, and do this with tens of thousands of leads in a matter of minutes. And the reason why I make this video is because a lot of the larger databases like Apollo and LinkedIn Search Navigator, they have a lot of inherent inaccuracies in the data that they provide. So you put in certain filters, but the companies are not actually qualified. We need to make sure that everyone we reach out to is actually going to be the right recipients of that email, because that's going to massively improve results and also result in less manual spam reports. So the best way to do this is by using Clay. So this video is going to cover how we use Clay to pre-qualify all these companies and how you can start doing the exact same thing with any given target audience that you might have. The very first thing that you need to do actually starts before the pre-qualification process that I'm going to show you. And it is that you want to use the right keywords within some of these larger databases, right? So if you're using LinkedIn Sales Navigator, for example, to find leads, well, you can have ChatGPT actually tell you exactly how you need to do your search based on the specific target audience that you have. And the same thing can be done for Apollo. So this is essentially going to help you get the right keywords. So you're not just guessing without really understanding what are the right inclusion keywords to use, what are the right exclusion keywords to use, and how do I navigate the filters. So I'll leave a link in the description. It's going to contain basically a prompt you can use to find the right keywords to use when you do your searches. Now, once you have your search, then we want to go to the next step. So you want to get clay.com. You want to get their lowest tier plan. That's what you need to connect your OpenAI API key. And that's what we're going to use. We're going to connect ChatGPT to Clay. We're going to import the list into Clay and then have ChatGPT actually pre-qualify these leads for you. So now we are on Clay, and I'm going to basically show an example of me just creating a quick list and then actually doing this. So the first thing here that we're going to do is, let's say the industry we want to include here is accounting. And let's say we want a company size of, just do very small here, 2 to 10. And then for the job titles, what we've seen in our data is that you definitely want to go for C-level and owners if you can. Those tend to respond the best for any sort of campaign. So I'm going to go down here to job titles, and I'm going to include CEO, owner, founder, just for the sake of example. And location, let's say we just want the United States. So we're going to press continue, import to new table. So now we have our list here. And now we are going to start playing around with the AI. So the next step here, once you've actually set up Clay and you have your list imported, now if you have an existing CSV file, you don't have to do what I did. You can just import your CSV file, and you're going to use different information about these companies that you can feed the AI so it knows whether or not they're qualified. So one thing you can use is company description, company LinkedIn page. And what you can also do if you don't have those data points is you can use Claygens. So you can scan their websites using Claygens, which is very helpful. You can prompt it to look at the websites, and that's what you want to go ahead and do here. Now, you want to also use best practices for saving money with the API, because if you just let it run wild, sometimes it spends a lot of money. So I'm just going to tell you how you need to do that. So if you go to add enrichment here, let's just use Claygens here, for example. What you can do here is you can actually generate a prompt based on natural language here. This is a great feature that they have on Clay. So you can do that, but you can also go in here and configure it manually. Now you want to make sure that the model you use is 4.0 Mini. This is generally the best one to use, in my opinion. You definitely don't want to use some of the more expensive models because it's going to completely drain your wallet. So you want to connect your OpenAI API key here, and the way you do that is by going on the OpenAI websites. You want to go and create an API key, and then you want to go ahead and paste that into Clay, and just make sure you have enough funds on that account. So I'm just going to quickly pause the video, and then I'm going to type in the prompt here. So now I've created the prompt here. I just used the feature on Clay. So it created its own prompt. It's a bit long, to be honest, but it's fine. We'll do with this for now. Now, it's really important to note that you need two separate prompts. You need what I call the information prompt and then the execution prompt. The information prompt is the one that actually prompts Claygens to go ahead and find a bunch of information about each company on their website. And then you want to have the execution prompt, which is the prompts that actually going to review the information that the first prompt scraped, if that makes sense. So the reason why we do it this way is because you don't want to give the AI two tasks at once. You don't want to tell it to both look up a company and then also tell it to essentially qualify them based on that information. You want to do this in two separate prompts. So now we're pretty much ready to go here. I'm going to click save and then run 10 rows. And again, it's just going to spit out a bunch of information about each of these companies. All right, so now we have the final result here. So this is quite interesting. We got a lot of data points from the first prompt here that I made, which is the information prompt. So it came up with a reasoning. It listed out their services. It also actually gave its own response. We're not supposed to do this, but it actually did, probably based on the way I prompted it. So you can actually see here false. It says false, and then this one here says true. So it actually outputted that as part of the prompt here, but that's fine because we're still going to have a separate prompt here, which is the information prompt. So this is not Clayton. This is just ChatGPT looking through the information from the first prompt. It's not actually looking up the website. So as we can see here, it has now started outputting no, no, yes, yes, no, no. So this is very helpful. So let's see if it's actually accurate here. So we have this one here. This company is a training and technology platform focusing on empowering accounting professionals. So this is not an accounting firm. And it said no. This company focuses on social media management services, identifies accounting. Yeah, so this one is questionable. It said no here. This one, the site identifies as a CPA firm and offers various accounting services such as tax preparation and monthly accounting. And it said yes. So what you can see here is that we are now successfully qualifying these companies. So we're not just blindly sending to people that might not be qualified. What you want to do is you want to go ahead and do this for all the leads on Clay. So you can just go here and then go to run column, and then you can just run all the ones that haven't run, and it's going to do that for the whole list. Then you can go to actions, you can go to exports, you can export a CSV, and then you can just sort it based like alphabetically here with this column, and then you can just remove all the no's. So you're only sending to the yeses. So that is the step 3. Step 4 here, using the information prompts and then the execution prompts. And then step 5 is to do some randomized sample tests. I looked through some of the examples here just to confirm if it looks good. You want to do that for about, I would say, 10 to 20, just to make sure it's all good. And then step 6 is to verify the leads, and then you can start sending to them. So this is a very solid process. This is definitely something that you want to start doing if you're not doing it. If you're looking for a company to basically manage your whole cold outreach customer acquisition, that's something we can do here at Scale Sprints. I'll leave a link for that in the description in case you're interested in that. And I'm also going to leave a link for some of these prompts that I used in this video so you can gain access to that and use it yourself. So thanks for watching and have a good day.